Welcome back to the channel, everyone. A couple of weeks ago I put together a video putting crank arm protectors on my 3T Exploro to protect my carbon crank from rock strikes. And I'll go ahead and put a link up in the corner of that video if you want to check back on that. In that video I posed a question wondering if those rubber crank arm protectors are going to interfere with the power readings from my Assioma power pedals. So today I'm going to do a quick Zwift ride, sync up my Garmin to the Assioma, and do a comparison to see if there is a difference, if it's significant, and if I need to do any modifications to those crank arm protectors so that it doesn't interfere with my power pedals. Since I've already got the Assioma pedals installed with those crank arm protectors, we're just going to jump on and give it a shot and see how it goes. Just looking down at the numbers, they look pretty close to me, so I'm pretty optimistic that they're going to be dead on and that crank arm protector isn't going to interfere with the readings. So as you can see, just my quick visual observation while I was riding showed me that they're pretty close, but let's go ahead and do an analysis here on Zwift Power and jump into the numbers and see if it was actually true that it's pretty close or if those numbers are pretty far off. Now do keep in mind I have Assioma Uno power pedals, so they're not going to be, dead on within a percentage point or two of each other, and I've done some comparisons in the past without the crank arm protectors, so I know there's probably about a 3 to 4% difference taking into account any imbalances I may have in my pedal stroke. Alright, so going into Zwift Power, going to go ahead and select the file, and just a quick observation here, looks pretty good. Obviously you're going to have a little bit more noise with the Assioma than you will with the erg mode trainer. But looking into it, you can see, it is just almost dead on average throughout that. And that's pretty good being a one-sided power pedal. Just going up through all the ranges here and checking into each of them, 164.6 versus 165.8. Looking pretty good. And looking 184.4 versus 186.4, 1% off. 209 versus 212. And looks like 234 and 237. Looking really pretty good. Again, there is going to be a little bit of difference between these numbers, just due to it being a single-sided power meter, but overall I'm pretty pleased with it. And you see here in the higher power range, that's where the discrepancy comes up a little bit more with power balance. Again, a lot more noise, but almost dead on throughout the cooldown. And after the workout I did a couple of quick sprints just to see how it lined up. So it's really kind of interesting here. The numbers are pretty close, but you can see the slight delay in the Assioma versus the kicker core, which I'm not sure what caused that, but the numbers line up real well, so I'm really not super concerned with it. And same thing with this, the second sprint here. You can see that the kicker core picked it up real quick, and the Assioma was a little bit delayed on it. So not sure what was going on with that. Alright, so after diving into those numbers there, I'm super pleased with how they turned out. Just a couple of percentage points off one way or the other, typically with the Assioma being a little bit higher. Again, the curve of that sprint there, I'm not sure what the delay was there, but in the end, really, the numbers were consistent, and it was pretty dead on showing for most of it. So I'm pleased with it, and now I know that when I go out and ride gravel, I don't have to worry about the ends of my crank arms getting destroyed, and still will have usable data, or at least as much as you can have from a single-sided power meter. So if you like this video, make sure you go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe as well if you haven't already. And if you have any thoughts on this subject, let me know your experiences with your Favero Assioma power meter pedals, whether they're converted over to mountain bike style pedals, SPD pedals like what I have, or if they're standard. So anyway, keep watching and enjoy your ride, and see you on the next one.